One MetLife Stadium drive, one of the two NFL stadiums shared by two teams. But we're not here to talk about that or that team across the hall. Keith Ippolito and John Rad are only here to talk about the true football giants. We talk Giants football and wherever else the conversation may take us. So deal with it. This is the Shared Stadium Podcast. I got good news. I got bad news. Really all I got. Welcome into the Shared Stadium Podcast. I'm John Rad along with my teammate Keith Ippolito, where we will talk all things New York Giants. It's been a few weeks that we've been off because, let's just be honest. Sometimes life's. So we apologize, but we are back. We are here. And before we dig into all of the good stuff today, Keith, what's happening, brother?
Doing good, man. Life is good other than being a Giants fan. I mean, hey, at least we got the Yankees who clinched earlier last week, and so we got that going. But yeah, I mean, it's to put it bluntly, same shit, different day if you're a New York Giants fan, right?
Oh, we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on the Yankees. We're going to touch on some New York sports. But frankly, all right. I teased it. I started it. I said, I got good news. I got bad news. Here's the good news.
I can guess.
What's the good news?
Does it have something to do with a trade to a certain basketball team?
No, we're not even at that point yet. We're starting off. Okay. Keith doesn't read the show sheet. We're going to start with the good news because I'm going to be honest with you. And we're going to talk about that here shortly. That might not even be good news. I'm going to tell you about that here in a minute. The good news is, hey, guys, we got a kicker.
Yeah, we got a kicker. We finally figured that part out.
We got a kicker. We were smart enough to finally say, hey, our old kicker, he's the part of his body that he needs the most isn't feeling that great. So we need to go and find somebody else. And we found one. So we have a kicker. But here's Greg Joseph, by the way. No relation to Brandon Joseph or whoever. Here's the bad news. As we played the Dallas Cowboys, our kicker got to kick, and he did very well. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals. 5.
Hey, our field goal kicker might get the MVP of the team or Player of the Year award, man. My God.
No, only person getting MVP is the ball boy.
The ball boy, okay.
But notice what I said. He kicked 5 field goals. He didn't kick any extra points.
Nope,
he didn't kick any PATs.
Nope.
We scored 15 points and 0 touchdowns. So look at it like this. We lost to a team that scored no touchdowns. And we figured,
yeah, I know.
Hey, we can do that. So we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, God. Exactly. It's oh my God, man. You look at this game and I'm ready to move on from Daniel Jones, but I mean, the last 2 games or 3 games, I can't really put it on him. He's actually hasn't done anything crazy enough to lose us the game. Honestly, if I look at especially the Dallas game, I think it was a mixture between Jones and the wide receivers. I mean, Jones obviously can't throw the ball. Well, I'm not going to say he can't throw the ball deep because we have seen him throw the ball deep, but I don't know if it's like a confidence issue or a mechanics issue because especially that one play where he had basically the offsides penalty and he underthrew Slay by probably like 2, 3, 4 yards or whatever it was. It's just like, man, that's so frustrating. But then, you see guys like Slay, all of them, Neighbors, they're all dropping balls, man. And it's costing us games and even stupid penalties in the red zone. There was that one where there was an illegal man, down the field in a red zone play. So it's a lot of things, man. I mean, again, I'm ready to move on from Daniel Jones, but I mean, if I'm being objective or whatever, especially the Dallas game, and it's not all on him, man.
Is it Daniel Jones stepped up that game, or is it Dallas is that much of a dumpster fire too? I mean, let's face facts on something. I'm not discrediting what you said. Daniel Jones didn't cost us the game, but he didn't take over the game to put us in a position to win. And that's the part that's frustrating, because when you go back to the Hard Knocks, you said you're not going to pay a guy $70 million a year to hand the ball off to a guy who's making $40 million a year. I'd much rather have the guy making $40 million a year still here, because at least that way, when we were one was a 52-41, we made a 22-yard field goal. So that means we were at about the 12-yard line. Our $40 million running back could have punched it in. Our $70 million quarterback did not find a way to get the ball in the end zone.
Oh yeah, and I definitely think, especially because I'll be honest. I mean, that I thought the offensive line played pretty well on against the Cowboys. I mean, I'm not usually a big PFF stats guy, but I mean, the offensive line basically allowed 11 pressures the entire game, and I think maybe like one sack. Thomas and Illuminor basically had it on lockdown on both sides in the tackle position. So I thought the offensive line did a spectacular job, or a pretty solid job against the Cowboys. And I feel like we haven't been able to say that in a really long time, too. It's like when you watch this team, I feel like one part clicks really well, whether as this game it was the offensive line, but the quarterback and the wide receivers or what, like nobody's ever in a fully synced or whatever, if that makes any sense,
We're not going to be right now, and I expected this, because one of the things that we don't have is we don't have that definitive leader out there. That person that is going to, on offense and defense, who's going to just grab somebody by the shoulder pads and say, hey, suck it up, get your job done. Now, I'm with you. I'm going to give some positives here in a second, because there was some positives that were going to go there, but I'm going to keep going with the negatives for right now.
Yeah.
We need a running back. We had, I get it. I'm going to beat up on Daniel Jones. I'm going to go down that road on Daniel Jones. We are 30th in the NFL with rushing yards. 30th. Yep. Ain't but 32 teams, and I can take a wild shot in the dark who the other two are behind us. We are 30th. And the fact that that's why we had to kick so many field goals. So how do you feel now, Giants front office, that you gave away our running back? We are tied for 29th in points for.
Yeah. So
we got to do something to put some points on the board.
Yeah, man. It's the run game. It's the offense, and even another stat that's as damning and encapsulate the start of the season in a nutshell is we have 12 drop balls on the season. Which is 31. The Browns have 14 at 32. So if you're always dropping ball, again, if you're always consistently dropping these balls, and not all of them are fantastic passes, but some of them are pretty damn egregious. And one wide receiver that I'm kind of want to pick on too, and maybe Dable should send a message and bench him for this upcoming game, is Darius Slay, and maybe throw in Jalen Hyatt or whatever. Send a message, man, because why should he get a pass? I'm not saying Jalen Hyatt is probably going to be the answer or whatever. I mean, sure, yeah, Darius Slay is a more talented receiver, but if you're dropping the ball, what good are you?
I mean, but if we're at that point, And let's be fair. If we're at the point we're sending messages, then let's send one to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like if we're at that point, so that's why I can't say that yet, and that's why I can't go down that road yet of let's send a message. At this point in time, it's knuckle up time, where we are sitting in last place in the NFC East. We are sitting in the bottom half of the entire league, probably only followed by the Bengals, Panthers.
Bottom of the barrel. Yeah.
We're not even bottom of the barrel. We're that sticky stuff underneath the barrel. So at this point in time, there's a lot of other things that have to be looked at. But you and I were talking. And if we're going to if we're going to send a message to somebody, is it time to send a message to Brian Dabol? And I'm asking the question. I'm not saying I'm ready to put him on the hot seat. But at this point in time, when I'm looking at this team and I'm looking at the mistakes that have been made from leadership, him being a part of it, at what point do we, because that has to be affecting the locker room vibe as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're in a crappy situation and you're constantly losing and you're losing the way you are. Yeah, I could only imagine that locker room, not can imagine the things that I read, especially after that Cowboys game, is that I read it was as bad as it's, been. Like some of these play, which I actually, when I read that, I kind of liked that because it made me know that some of these players actually give a shit, like, and they're not just like, in the clubhouse celebrating and blah, 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 or whatever. But yeah, I mean, this locker room is definitely down, especially when you're losing games the way you're down. I mean, but, back to what you were asking about Dable is, I still don't want to pull the plug on him. I still think he's a very offensively gifted. I think he's very talented. He's got a good resume, whether it's at Alabama, what he did with Josh Allen and the Bills. I think he's a very gifted and very smart play caller. Sure, is he had some blunders this year, but I want to see him. I want to give him a season with a legitimate NFL quarterback, whether that's
and get rid of the one we have.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Next season, I don't expect Daniel Jones to be here. I mean, I think we've seen enough. It's time to pull the plug on that. I don't know if it's going to happen this year or not. Maybe if it gets really bad, worse than it already is. Sure, maybe they go to, Tommy Cutlets or, whatever. But I do want to see Brian Dable with a legitimate quarterback, whether if that's with bringing in an NFL veteran or drafting someone in the draft next year.
Here's the thing you said that I don't like, though, and here's where I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to agree but disagree. Brian Dabol, good offensive coach, 100%. I'm not taking that away from him. But we've made no bones about it. For you guys who listen, longtime listeners, which isn't very long, who like, subscribe, follow, thank you for tuning in. Dan Quinn was the head coach here in Atlanta. Dan Quinn sucked as the head coach here in Atlanta. Dan Quinn went out to Dallas and became the defensive coordinator out in Dallas and did a fantastic job as the defensive coordinator out in Dallas. The reality has to set in on people at some point in time to understand that not everybody's meant to be a starter. Some people need to be the backup. Mm-hmm. And could that be Brian Dabol is, hey man, you're an OC. You're an assistant coach. This head coaching thing ain't for you, and that's okay. It's okay. You can be our OC, and we get you a real quarterback, and you go get me Bill Belichick, and you go get me whoever. I can't even think of whoever else.
Yeah.
But you go get me a solid coach, and somebody who, at this point in time, I don't want you to be a friend of the team. I want the team to hate you because all you're focused on is winning. And I don't feel like that. I feel like he's heard the media, and he's even said to himself, I got time. And you don't. So am
Yeah.
I personally saying I want to turn the fire on underneath his feet yet? No, not yet. But it is something that we need to think about too, that let's throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if things take a turn for the worse, I guess, I would say it would have to get as bad as it was when Joe Judge was here. I mean, that was just it got to a point where it was like you just have to leave. Like you, enough is enough. Again, I'm not there yet. I again like I to re- to repeat again, I would just love to see him with a legitimate quarterback, whoever that is. I'm not sure who it's going to be. Probably going to be someone in the draft next year because I mean, you look at the remaining of the schedule as like I don't really see where there's many wins coming from. We got
Told you.
Seattle this coming week, and Seattle's 3-0, and I mean I think they're down 21. Last I saw, they were down 21-7. I think going into the half. But they're a good team, man, real good team. So, yeah, I mean. I mean, we could be like 1-6, going into basically November, and yeah. I mean,
Told you.
I don't know where the wins are coming at this point, man. I really don't.
And to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, the Browns one, you kind of feel like it was luck.
Yeah,
Maybe we beat the Bengals because they seem to be a dumpster fire right now.
yeah, they have a lot of issues.
And that gives us a win.
But they're a much more talent. They have a lot of issues, but they're a much more talented team than we are, and that's
I mean,
yeah.
truth be told, I mean, the Browns are a more talented team than we are.
Oh, 100%. Oh, of course.
And so that's why I say,
I did not expect us to win that game, especially being in Cleveland at all.
so that's why I said the Bengals we could luck up. I mean, I'm going with the optimism now. Excuse me. I'm being optimistic now because the Eagles didn't exactly look like a top tier team
No,
last night.
they got spanked by the Bucks. It was like 33 to something. I can't remember. I think
It
did they
wasn't.
have a touchdown or something?
Oh, Jalen Hurts threw a pick six, so it was a rough
Yeah.
game for him. And I get it. His starting wide receivers are hurt. Now
Mhm.
here's going to be the real test for our defense because Saquon Barkley's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's coming back to New York to make a point.
Mhm.
He is going to play like we saw him play. I can't think of what game that was last year where he really just took over in the fourth quarter. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we're going to see a lot of that to cover up for the fact that the receivers are hurt. Jalen Hurts is not playing that great right now.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be it. Because after that, it becomes, I mean, the back stretch of the year, starting from the end of the year going forward, Eagles, Colts, Falcons,
Yeah.
Ravens, Saints,
Yeah.
Cowboys, Buccaneers. We play the Panthers, excuse me, in November, and
Mhm.
we'll see them a little bit better. But in saying that out loud, we might be only looking at a 3-win season.
Yeah, I mean it's very possible. I mean, yeah, I mean,
Sweat by it.
eh, yeah, I mean, I mean, at this point, I mean, the season's pretty much already over at this point. I mean, I'm assuming I don't even if we get a win in Seattle, I feel like it just kind of teases us, to maybe giving us a false sense of hope where oh yeah, you're a delusional Giants fan. Okay, maybe they can make a run. No, to be honest with you, at this point, it's like you never want to see your teams lose. Of never, but I mean, I'm realistic, man. We suck. We're not winning anything this year, so just start the tankathon, John.
But that's the problem. And this is the problem I lamented on all summer long. The problem is we overpaid for a quarterback. And some people would even argue, and this is where, to me, I know the NFLPA won't step in and do anything. But the NFLPA kind of has to step in because you can't tell me this is the going rate for a quarterback. Because as I'm looking at the quarterback play right now, the quarterback
Mm-hmm.
play in the NFL is abysmal. Where once upon a time we had the conversation where it was Patrick Mahomes, and then it
Mm-hmm.
was like, your Josh Allens, your Joe
And
Burrows.
yeah, yeah.
We threw Tua in there, we threw
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts in there, and then it was like a big drop off. Right now, it's like Pat Mahomes, Josh
Yeah.
Allen,
And
and then the drop
that's
off.
yeah. And honestly, I feel like even that first list putting two in there was being generous because you know I I still don't know what he is. I mean, not to mention that he obviously can't stay healthy with all the concussions or whatever. So yeah, I mean the quarterback play has just been completely abysmal this season. I probably some of the worst I've seen in a long time.
And I still say it. I enjoy listening to Cam Newton's podcast, and Cam Newton has said it. He said he would love to have been to someplace like with the Texans where he can help coach up a young quarterback like they have out there. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I agree that you can get a Cam Newton. There's even a small part of me, if he wanted to, I would have even taken, brace for it, because y'all gonna call me crazy
Oh,
when I say it.
oh God.
I would have taken Matt Ryan as the backup to Daniel Jones. And if Matt Ryan wants to go out there and play before he retired, I would have welcomed that. I would have welcomed that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would have liked him just because he's a very very strong veteran and he's
Yep.
a very real
Yep.
professional. You know, I don't want us to sound like I'm knocking him because I think Matt Ryan's a hell of a quarterback and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and I do think he'll probably get in there one day. But yeah, his time at the Colts, yeah, I mean, he really did drop off. There was you can tell Father Time had caught up with him pretty quickly, and again, that's not a knock on him. I mean, Father Time is always undefeated, as we always know, John. So, but just I guess just from a veteran's being a veteran presence in the locker room, yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
I would have been okay with that.
Think about this. Go with me with this. Think back to what year was that where Odell Beckham Jr., the Giants had just made the playoffs and
Mm-hmm.
they went down to Miami before they went to Green
I
Bay.
believe that was 2016, was it not?
I think so. 16 might have
I
been
believe it.
15.
The boat trip. I believe that was
Yes.
2016.
Imagine having, and this is not a knock on Eli Manning. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. But Eli wasn't that boisterous leader to me. But imagine having prime, Tom, not even prime, but Tom Brady with the Buccaneers,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
Brett Favre with the Jets, Kurt
yeah, yeah.
Kurt Warner with the Arizona Cardinals, who could have taken
Mm-hmm.
that team and said, "What are you doing? This
Yeah,
is how we do it." That's
yeah.
what. That's the thing I'm afraid of. Is I'm not listening to Daniel Jones. I'm not listening to Danny DeVito. Dude sleeping on his mom's couch. Like, I'm looking around and I'm looking at this roster and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rookies, another what looks like 9, 10 second year players.
Yeah,
Like, I got two players that have been 10 years, two players that have been 9 years, two
yeah,
that are 8, and then it drops to 5 years. I have guys who are just getting to their major payday, and I'm looking for a leader on this team. We don't have it yet. And that's what I think we need. That's what's missing from this team. Outside of everything else, that needs to be there right now to cement everything going forward.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to argue against that with you right now, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I mean, there definitely needs to be someone who is a big vocal presence in this locker room, and yeah, I mean, I just, yeah, I don't know where it's coming from at this point, man. It's eh, it's just we have so many flaws. I mean, you know, but between the wide receivers, the running backs, don't get me the cornerbacks. I mean, God Almighty, and even Thibodeau and they were non-existent against the Cowboys the other day.
No, Thibodeau. One of the things that and people won't notice it. Thibodeau was doing his job because he sealed off the end very well. And the thing I liked about Thibodeau that I really saw, there was one play where he got back there and he shouldn't have been able to catch up to Dak. And he tracked him down. And I like that. Those are the things, like, that's the positives I have to take away at this point in time. And at this point in time, I'm giving out participation trophies, and that's what I got to give them. Now, let's continue.
Shared Stadium Podcast, the podcast of participation trophies.
Well, I mean, what do you want? Be miserable the rest of the next 3 years?
No, not particularly. Not particularly.
That's really it. Like, like right now, I know everyone's happy. Everyone's excited as the New York Knicks have made a move. They traded for Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Yes,
oh,
they traded
all right.
for Cat Williams. We got
okay.
They traded for Carl Anthony.
I think I have read that Cat Williams can ball, though, right, John?
Don't bring me
into
that.
Sure?
Look.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Cat Williams listens to this. He gonna put this and that comment we made about Diddy and you together, and a whole new thing. So,
jeez.
I digress. But they got Carl Anthony Towns. They traded away Dante DiVincenzo and Jackson. Away for it. I know everyone's excited because Carl Anthony Towns is a big name.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's all he is. Now, I will say, I feel better, though, if he comes in and he's healthy. Then I think we now have a shot to win the East.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because, I feel like, with this trade and over this summer, we kind of lost, 2 or 3 dogs. And, you kind of hit the nail on the head with it, that Carl Anthony Towns is just a name. And, sure. Is it exciting? And, when did it come, when the trade came through on, Friday night, I believe it was Friday night,
yep.
On Bleacher Report. Yeah, sure. Was a little exciting or whatever, but then, you start reading about it and all the little details or whatever. Kind of losing some of that identity with the team, makes you kind of have that little thought in the back of your head,
If he comes in and ideally, and people have lamented on this heavily, Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant big men in NBA history, he's lamented how the big men in the NBA now they don't match up to the big men of the past, himself and, him after him.
Yeah.
Carl Anthony Towns comes in and can be the dominant presence that he needs, that rim protector, that big man that can stretch the floor. Then at this point in time, we can compete against the Sixers. We now can compete against the Celtics. We now can compete against the Heat. And if we can take those 3 teams, maybe the Bulls might be the 4th. There's not a whole. I'll give the Hawks a little bit of love. If we can compete against them, at that point in time, we're now one of the top teams in the East again, and we've gotten better. The thing that I got to see from Carl Anthony Towns is, and what I hope, he shows up to New York with a chip on his shoulder, angry because he got traded, and goes out there and just puts that dog in. But I don't think he has that in him.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of my biggest concern and question mark about him is because that was like the identity of that Knicks team last year. Is it was a bunch of gritty players, and sure, were they probably not the most talented in the league. Yeah, of course not, or whatever. But they played as your favorite, what you like. Play with that dog in him, man. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure if Karl Anthony Towns has that dog in him, man. I really don't. I'm not sure. I mean, I would. Maybe he does come here, like you said, and he has a little chip on his shoulder or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Here's the thing I do know, and you know it just as well as I do. The thing that I hope he can overcome, if he comes to New York and he's overtly sensitive, the media is going to eat him up.
Oh, and he's gonna get crucified,
and his feelings are gonna be hurt very early into the year, and that's gonna break his heart. So I hope he shows up with a little bit of that dog on his heart, and a chip on his shoulder, and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, Minnesota is not New York media wise. No. So yeah, he's gonna be in a rude awakening for that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, kind of, not that I don't want to be excited about it, because it is, and it is a big trade, but I mean, I did like Randall and Dante DiVincenzo a lot. I thought they were tough, gritty players, man. I don't know about you. I really like those two.
I like DiVincenzo. Look, Julius Randle, I was over with. What did I say? Stevens. I'm thinking Lance Stevens in my head.
Yeah.
Julius Randle, I was over with, because I'm like, he's older. It's almost that sunsetting time in his career. Mm-hmm. DiVincenzo, what I liked about him was late into a game, he comes in and he's running all over the place, and he has a motor that is that when other teams are worn out, the kid had a motor and could just go.
Yeah, he's like the Energizer Bunny, man. He just didn't stop.
I love that. And that's because what people don't realize, that's been the key to success for Steph Curry, where Steph gets going, running around, point guards are tired, and you're just like, hey, can't keep up. And he's able to pop those threes. DiVincenzo did that. So I'm hoping we can see that from him. Also, while we're at the time that we're recording this, it's not good. It's bad. We lost one of the greats, a legend, Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah. Two actually today.
We're gonna get to that one. Ippolito doesn't read show sheets. I told y'all, he's like Chris Domino. If y'all know him, he just goes wherever he wants. But we lost one of the greats, Dikembe Mutombo. Big man, played for the Knicks, played for the Hawks, but played for the Denver Nuggets, played for the Sixers. But one of the things that he was the big man that invented was the no.
Yep.
The finger wag. And he'll always be remembered for that, and how great he is. And also the philanthropy work that he's done for the Congo and his home country. He was a great human being, and I've gotten a chance to meet him before. So much fun to talk to. Great energy. He'll be missed in the NBA and in this world.
Yeah, I mean, I can only echo everything that you just said. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anybody or read anybody to say a negative thing about the man. It's also, it's sad, not only just, because he's one of the all-time greats, but I mean, he was a hell of a human being, hell of a person. And I mean, he was fun to watch. He was one of those iconic players, like you said, you always remember that. No. I mean, even remember, NBA jams. He was always one of my favorite players to play with or whatever. Not that, it's kind of like, makes you a little, I guess, not melancholy. I don't know. It just makes you, the players that you grew up as a kid, or, they get older or whatever.
It's
kind
sad,
of,
Keith. It's
it's sad. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
Stop trying to use big words, man. It's just sad.
I had to pull out my Webster's dictionary every once in a while.
You don't even have a Webster's dictionary.
Actually, I probably don't.
Good. Also today, it literally just came out about an hour, 2 hours ago. Baseball legend. He's not a Hall of Famer because of the things he did, but He is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Pete Rose. He is. He's going to be laughing. He's in the
Okay, all
WWE
right,
Hall of Fame. He's a
all
Hall of
right,
Famer. I mean,
okay, all
look,
right.
how many Hall of Fames are you in?
I'm in zero, and I'll probably never be in any.
I mean, your picture might be up in some restaurants that says, if you see this man, throw him out.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But not in the Hall of Fame. But Pete Rose, his gambling scandal that he was behind. I do regret, because I did always want to go out to Vegas, because from what I understand, if you paid him, Pete Rose would autograph anything that you wanted him to say on it. I think there's somebody out there that has, yes, I did it, or I gambled on sports, Pete Rose, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to get a piece of memorabilia signed by him. I just thought it'd be fun to get something silly signed by him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I mean, I would have loved to have some kind of memorabilia for him, and again, to the Hall of Fame, debate or whatever is, you know, I don't want this to sound like I condone anything that he did off the field, and because there was obviously some other things that we don't really need to get into that were alleged, or that came out after the years or whatever. But I look at the Hall of Fame as in every sport really is. When did the Hall of Fame become the Hall of Fame of moral character? I mean, I can think of several players in probably every league in their Hall of Fame where they probably weren't the greatest person off the field. I mean, let's just, be real. One of the greatest defensive players on our team. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. I got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
I got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, I would not be surprised if he gets into the Hall of Fame at some point. I had always, I was always kind of was at the thought that they would probably wait for him to die and that they would do it sometime after that. So, maybe I'm not saying they're going to do it next year, but I would not be surprised if they come around on it. How do you not have the person who is the all-time hit king in the sport not in the Hall of Fame? You have all the memorabilia, from his career in there. It's part of baseball. So, how do you not have him in there? I'm just saying.
I don't know. I know that I agree. I even think I once had the thought of, at some point in time, do you just create a wing that is not truly a Hall of Fame, but disgraced players who go in there? I know it'll get a label, it'll get a bad rap, but that way, I think Hall of Fames, there needs to be some level of purity put back into them. And I think if you wanted to put, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, that way those guys go in there, they're not the Hall of Fame, they're in a wing. Pete Rose in that wing. Those guys get to go in there because baseball is such an old sport that has evolved so much and will continue to evolve that at some point in time, you look every sport the way it evolves, but baseball has had some of the biggest evolutions because it's so old that I think that would be one of the things is just you make another wing. You don't have to really put a true honoring ceremony together unless you want to, but more so it's just, hey, they're here. We're going to give them a bust. We're going to give them a plaque. We're going to acknowledge that these people did contribute in a major way to the sport.
Well, yeah, I mean, would I be okay with that? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, but then I look at, like a guy like Bud Selig is in the Hall of Fame, and he was entirely complicit with all the steroid stuff that was going on for all that, because it was great for the sport. People were watching. People were going to games, buying merchandise, watching on TV and all that sort of stuff. So, my biggest gripe with the Hall of Fame is, I guess, just the hypocrisy on all of it. And, some of these baseball writers are just, they just need
Uh-oh.
to get out of their way, man. Get out of the way.
Hey, guys, I didn't say that. I know some of you guys who have Hall of Fame votes. I didn't say that. So when I called you to come on, if that day he needs to be off, we'll make sure he's off and we'll just air it later. I didn't say that part, okay? I know some of you guys. We're still good. How's Taylor Swift do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're still good. Once again, that moment where I got to put my own disclaimer in. The opinions of Keith Ippolito are the Keith Ippolito and Ippolito alone, not of the Short Stadium podcast or John Radcliffe.
You know what? We should make a production piece, a production disclaimer piece for that, and maybe that we run before and after, just because of all, some of the things I just say. You never know, John.
Well, on the up note, another up note. The playoffs are set. The Yankees, they will have a bye, and we'll be waiting for the winner of the Orioles-Royals game.
Yep.
The Guardians, they have a bye. They'll be waiting for the winner of the Astros-Tigers. The Dodgers and the Phillies both have a bye. Dodgers will be waiting for the winner between the Padres and the Braves. And the Phillies will be waiting for the winners of the Brewers and the Mets. If you want, you can call into the Braves radio network.
404-231-1680.
Hey. See? Go too far. Just call in. Tell them Keith Ippolito sent you. See if they let you on air.
Probably not.
Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Hey, did you watch? Were you able to catch any of the Braves Mets game today by chance?
Yes, the doubleheader. I watched game 1. Game 1, solid game. I expected game 2 to go the way that it was because it was a long doubleheader. There was rain. It's been a lot of weight. There's a lot of emotion, and I felt like, and honestly, if I were the Mets, I personally would have kept more of my starters in. I would have wanted to prove a point. The way they started the season so abysmal, I would have wanted to prove a point to say, you know what, watch this. I would have wanted to be the heel in something, and I don't think they were. Yeah,
especially because obviously it goes without saying, Braves and Mets are rivals forever in this division, and that this is another thing I wanted to so I saw floating around on social media after the Braves and the Mets were having they were having a joint celebration out in the in the field in Truist Park. Players are out celebrating, doing the champagne stuff or whatever. I know these players are buddy and all that now, but I don't know. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that in professional sports, especially two historic rivals. That was a first for me, John.
I mean, you got to look at it now. Like, the game's evolved, Keith. Like, you go back and you look at the old players in all sports, where we see in football and basketball, the end of the game, they trade jerseys. Michael Jordan never asked Magic Johnson for his jersey.
No, not a chance.
Gary Payton never asked John Stockton for his jersey and autographed it at the end. It's a different time. And to be honest, we're the old men now. You didn't see Emmitt Smith go ask Terrell Owens when he was with the 49ers after he spiked the ball on the star. Hey, Terrell, let me get your jersey.
Yeah, no. Come on. Hey, let me get your autograph, Terrell.
No, we're the old men now. We were.
I know.
And I can keep going for on. And nobody from the New York Knicks ever asked Reggie Miller for his jersey after a game.
No, I can guarantee you that
the New York Knicks asked Reggie Miller for his jersey after a game. So I'm like,
no.
And seeing that, we're the old men now, man, and that's what these guys do. It was weird, but I would much rather have seen, I'm going to keep my foot on your throat. I'm going to do my best to knock you out of the playoffs. And that way I can hold bragging rights to say, ha, look what I did.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, bragging rights. Yeah, I mean, you basically knock out, your rival in that division forever. And yeah, like you said, the way they started the season, it puts that little extra
Mm-hmm.
jab in there and dig in there. You put the knife in and then you twist it again to your arch rival,
I mean, because now you get both sides of the coin. Here, the Braves started off. Braves are going to be world champions. And they're champions and champions and champions. We're going back again. And, then it got to a point of like, wait a minute. Are we living off of that 2021 high? Like, are we still riding that wave? And then now it's like, oh my goodness, we might not make the playoffs. And here come the Mets. It's like, oh my goodness, the Mets are a dumpster fire. And for Mets fans, if y'all are listening, I'll tell you we're telling you exactly what we're hearing here in Atlanta. The Mets are a dumpster fire. They suck. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I would have wanted to just put that final jab in to just say, see, look what we did.
Yeah.
It's just,
exactly.
I mean,
yeah. Hey, I mean, again, you put it, you summed it up well. We are the old men now, but yeah, I mean, it's still weird for me to see that, that celebration again. I don't know, different times. We're the old men now, John. I mean, I guess we gotta adapt with the times, right, brother?
Get off my lawn. I don't have to adapt. I can still be the grumpy old. Look, we live in a city. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to circle back to football here in a second. We live in a city that they've created their own rivals. Like, I'm still trying to figure out why Braves fans hate Yankees fans so much.
Oh, you don't have a reason why or a clue why?
I know why, but I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, there is so many other people that should be ranked before you consider us your rival. So many others.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, yeah.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and I like it. I like the concept that the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks have become like rivals. Trae Young likes being the villain. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fair.
It's entertaining.
That's fair.
I think it makes the league much more entertaining.
You like Braves, y'all have won. Y'all are a historic team. Y'all have done amazing things. You're still not up there with us.
No, not even. Not on a championship level. No, the Braves. No,
you're still not there with us. So I get it.
Of course not.
I know why. Fine, be angry, hate us, whatever. Cool. Yeah. You're not there yet. But I will say this. Giants fans, as if you're planning on coming down here and seeing the Giants take on the Falcons, I gave you some warnings earlier in the year, and I want to revisit this because December 22nd is coming quickly.
Yes. Yep.
We're already in October, basically. Don't come down here talking trash. Number one, the way the Giants look, definitely don't come down.
Hey, Giants can't. They shouldn't be able to talk. You can't talk anything to anyone. I mean,
like at this point in time, there is a such thing as Southern hospitality. Just take the Southern hospitality. If somebody says, "Hey, you want a dog? You want a brat? You want a burger?" Just take it and talk to them and say, "Hey, where's a place to get some good wings from?"
Exactly.
Where who has the best wings in town? Is the world of Coca-Cola worth the tour? It's Sunday. I'm staying for Monday. Should I go for the world of Coca-Cola?
Is the aquarium all it's hyped up to be?
Yeah, is the aquarium, shameless plug for someone. Hey, where all does the Atlanta bike tours go? I want to sign up for that. Shameless plug to Atlanta bike tours. Love y'all.
All right.
Ask people that kind and be nice, be friendly. Like we're the same people. Like we say shorty, they say shouty. We wear Timberlands, they wear polo boots. We the same. We the same. We the same people.
Pretty much.
You know,
Pretty much.
Let's not mention the two Super Bowl championships that we got. Let's let that go. Okay, let's not even bring that up.
Yeah.
It's just be good with that. Be respectful of Mr. Blank.
Yeah.
Be respectful of Mr. Blank. Be respectful of Peachtree. Be respectful of Northside Drive.
Yes.
And be respectful of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that's it. They will have a beer with you.
Because it's a beautiful stadium.
Yes,
they'll have a great Sunday. They really will.
They'll have a beer with you.
It's a great state. Yeah, exactly. Have a beer. There's plenty of places to hang out. Yeah. You'll have a great time.
Now, if someone says, "Hey, let's go hang out at the Bluff," run. I don't know if it's still on Netflix. It was an independent film.
Snowing on the Bluff.
Snow on the Bluff. Number one.
Yep.
Don't go ask nobody for directions. Y'all got smartphones. You can put it. You can ask Siri. You can ask Alexa. You got Uber. You can go ask anybody.
Put it this way: just if you're walking, just go towards State Farm. Don't venture on the other side of Northside, right, John?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Here's some telltale signs that you might not be in the best places, and you might, let's just call it what it is. You might be in danger. Okay. If there is a China Express, I'm sorry, not a China Express, a China cafeteria. If there's a China cafeteria around, you might be in danger. Okay. Just letting you know right now.
Is this your PSA for the night?
Yeah, I'm helping them out.
Huh?
Helping people out.
All right. Okay. All right.
If there is a Church's Chicken, you might be in danger. Okay. I'm telling you right now. There's a Church's Chicken.
Why Church's, John?
Let me ask you a question. Where's the nearest Church's Chicken to your home?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure.
Exactly.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
You hear me? Okay. There's no Church's Chicken within a 20-mile radius of you. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not even 100% sure where your house is. Then a 20-mile radius ain't a Church's Chicken nowhere to be found. Okay?
Are you in a radius of a Church's Chicken?
I'm not. No. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now granted, a chicken breast at Church's Fried Chicken, one chicken breast can feed a family of 5. That's a different story. But if you're near Church's, don't go asking for directions, okay? I'm just trying to help people out. I want people to come to Atlanta. It's a great city. It's a wonderful city. I've come here. I've made it my home. I grew up here, basically. You have, but we want to make sure that people make it out of here safely, okay? There's some telltale signs. If somebody says to you, "I got that good,"
oh God! It's for the newsflash. It's probably bad. It ain't good.
That. You don't want that. Okay?
No, you don't. You don't want that. You don't.
You don't want that.
No.
Okay. So I just want people to come here, be safe, be respectful. Even if we win, understand that you are an enemy, hostile territory. Because I want to help you out with some things here. By that point in time, the Atlanta Braves either A, could have won the World Series, which I doubt, or B, which is more likely to happen, have been eliminated from the playoffs by now.
That would, yes.
And
that's a safe bet.
They're going to be upset by then.
Yes, they are. They're going to be hostile, John.
So
they're going to be riled up. Just if you're traveling into Atlanta, enjoy the city. Is like you just said, man, we don't really have a lot to run our mouth about. By that time, God knows what our record is going to be. We might still only have 1 win on the season.
This is true.
And it wouldn't surprise me. And to be honest, the Falcons are a better team than us.
That's true as well.
Yeah, so I fully expect the Falcons to beat us. I really do.
As a matter of fact, here's the Southern thing to do. Are you listening? You got your pen and paper handy?
I'm right. Let's go.
offer to buy someone a beverage.
Oh, there you go.
Offer
There
to
you
buy them a
go.
beverage, whether it be
Yeah.
sweet
Buy
tea,
a round.
Crown and Coke, uh, uh, uh,
Yeah.
uh, 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 whatever you can afford. Offer to buy a beverage,
Whatever you like.
because I'm gonna offer this part up to you as well. Around that time, basketball season will be in full swing.
Yes.
The Hawks will be playing at home. So here's what I would say to do. Here's Uncle John giving some friendly advice.
John, is this John, travel agent?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
December 21st at State Farm Arena, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies come to town.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can see Ja Morant. That would be that. What?
So that's a Saturday?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be that's even better. Let's back this up. Hold on. Yes. So that Saturday, come to town on Friday. Come into town on Friday.
Yeah.
That Saturday, go see Ja Morant and the Grizzlies play the Hawks.
Yeah.
Sunday, go see the Falcons versus the
Falcons
Giants.
and the Giants. Yeah.
Stay in town, because then that Monday, the 23rd, you get to see Ant-Man, a hometown favorite, and the Memphis Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Hawks. You make this a nice 3-day weekend.
That's a nice 3-day trip, man. I like that.
Now, granted, that is December 24th the next day, so now you're trying to travel out of Hartsfield Jackson on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
that's a you problem.
Well, all right, so yeah, that is a them problem, but even if you did a Friday, Saturday, come home after the game Sunday or Monday morning, I mean that could work, John. That could work.
Now, and look, if you really, if you're single and you can handle this and you can swing it, here's once again, here's Uncle Johnny giving you some.
Uncle Johnny, the travel agent. You sound like you got a potential new side hustle here, man.
Well, I mean, look at it this weekend. Here in Atlanta, you could have come to town. This weekend would have been a great weekend to do it. Come to town on Saturday, see the Braves play at home, hang out.
Yep.
Go find a bar, see UGA lose to Alabama.
Yeah.
Sunday, go see the Falcons play.
Yep.
Stay in town for Monday for a doubleheader with the Braves, and then
that's a hell of a weekend of sports right there, man. So, if you're a sports junkie, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to give people some friendly tips, and that's whether you're a Giants fan. I want to be safe. I want the Giants fans to be safe. I don't want nobody to get hurt. I don't want it to look like the Bloods and the Crips are down there fighting because it's blue and red everywhere. I just want people to be safe. I want people to be smart.
I think for the most part they'll be all right, John. I'm sure there'll probably be the occasional knucklehead, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
It'll probably be a guy named Joey.
Joey or Vinny, Dominic, I don't know.
I'll even give you to make sure my people are involved. Rashid. Rashid, Rakim. Devin.
Devin.
Yeah, Devin.
All right.
They're gonna come down here, and they're gonna show up.
They're gonna make a ruckus, John.
Understand? I'm gonna bring you in close to this. Once again, I'm giving you a PSA. Some of the female Falcons fans are more dangerous than the men.
That's a fantastic PSA right there, John.
Some of the women are more dangerous than the men. So
they might be, they could be potentially barking up the wrong tree. And they'll find out real quick.
So I just want to help. But like you said, at that point in time, our record could be so bad. We're just coming to town just to see the city, and it just so happens there's a football game going on.
Yeah, honestly, and realistically, that's probably going to be the case, John. Let's just being honest, real talk. I mean, yeah, we could be at 1 or 2 wins by that point in the season.
I mean, at that point in time, just come to town, See Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a beautiful stadium. It's an indoor
Yeah.
stadium. It has a
Yeah.
sunroof.
Cheap food,
So it's
cheap
not
drinks.
so it's not like MetLife where you got to be out in the
Mm-hmm.
cold and the snow and the
Yep.
rain. Just take it
Yeah.
in. Maybe you meet some nice people that let you join them for a tailgate.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely. There's plenty of good tailgates in some of those lots around there. Absolutely.
as a matter of fact, Keith, here's what we're gonna try to do. For
All right.
long-time followers, we're gonna work on this. We're gonna see if we can muster up. We know some people. We're gonna have to figure out a way. We're gonna see if we can come up with 2 tickets to the College Football Hall of Fame to give away for that weekend.
All right.
We're gonna do.
I'd be on board with that.
We're gonna see if we can come up with 2 tickets to give away. So somebody, when
Okay.
you come into town,
Yeah.
we'll get you 2 tickets to the College Football Hall of Fame. You got something to do that weekend.
Yeah. Just I'm all for the giveaway, man.
We just want to do something nice. We want to do something nice for
exactly.
people.
Uncle John is feeling festive tonight. He's giving out PSAs. He's trying to do a giveaway. I like this, John.
Look, I just want people to be safe. Look, we've seen it. The Chargers game, the people got beat up. In the Broncos Panthers game, the people got beat up. I don't want to see anybody fight in my city. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm saying my city because I live here. I pay taxes here, so I get to say that. I pay taxes.
It's right. This at this point it's home. It's home for us, man.
Yes.
It's home.
Because Giants, I love you, but I ain't moving back to New York.
No.
I mean, let's just face it. Didn't the mayor just get indicted?
Yes, he did. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things happening with Mayor Adams at the moment.
Didn't he just get indicted? So I'm good, fam.
Yes. I can't even believe he hasn't stepped down from office yet.
So I'm not exactly, I mean, granted, I get it. Bill Campbell was indicted too when I lived here, but I'm not exactly trying to rush up to a city where the mayor is being indicted. I'm good, fam.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
You could call me an apple that's in the middle of the peach. How about that?
An apple that's in the middle of the peach. I like that, John. I like that.
So I'm not going back up there. But anyway, this is the moment where we've clearly gone off the rails. But honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all probably could expect this the rest of the way because Giants are, barring some sort of major miracle.
Yes. I foresee our future podcasts talking about where we're going to be in the draft order and who our future quarterback is. That's what I foresee.
One more thing I forgot, because once again, our football team is abysmal. So there's one more thing that I want to bring up.
All right. What you got?
The WNBA.
Okay. All right.
They are in the playoffs, and the New York Liberty. They are taking on the Las Vegas Aces right now. And if y'all haven't caught up, I haven't been keeping up. Shame on me. I will say that. I caught the first game of the semifinals, but they are currently in the semifinals for the playoffs. Check them out. It is some great basketball, some fun basketball going on. Asia Wilson,
I'll be honest.
league MVP.
I was going to say, I'll be honest. Like, I haven't really, until probably this year, I haven't, really kept up with it. But yeah, the times I have watched the WNBA, they are entertaining games, man.
So check them out. Matter of fact, at the time we're recording this is Monday. Tomorrow, game 2, the Liberty taking on the Aces at 7:30. But you got the Liberty taking on the Aces and the Sun taking on the Lynx. I know. People are upset. Oh, Caitlin Clark is out. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player. I'm not taking anything away from her. But not just because she's with the New York Liberty, but she's also a really good player. Sabrina Ionescu, I can't say her last name. It starts with an I. Sabrina Ionescu, outstanding player. Love watching her play. So,
yeah, man.
Taking the WNBA. I mean,
yeah, there's, I've always said, I'm pretty sure you agree, basically once, August comes rolling around, basically from now until March, basically, it's you got pretty much at some point you've got all the major sports going, and it's if you're a sports fan, it is the best time of the year, and that there is no debating that.
So there's a lot going on, and the way the Giants are looking right now, frankly, we're probably going to talk about a lot of things because
there's just not a lot of good to say about us right now.
But if you want to chime in, if you want to join in, you can hit us up on Twitter, formerly known as, or X, formerly known as Twitter, John Rad 450. Keith, what are you on there?
KeithIp86.
And I think, don't we have a Twitter account? SharedStadium.com?
No Twitter. We have an Instagram account.
Instagram.
Yeah, so we have Instagram. Yeah.
Follow us on the gram. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay. Once again, some housekeeping. Young ladies, Keith is the single one. I'm married. Don't go DMing me them things, okay? Send that to him.
Jeez.
Okay? Send that to him. And if you're sending him complimentary bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil, that's between y'all.
I don't need any baby oil. I'm out on the baby oil.
That's between y'all.
I'm out on the baby oil, John. I don't need no baby oil.
I don't need to get involved with any of that. I'm a happily married man. So, if y'all send the complimentary, if y'all sending baby oil coupons, send to him. That guy right over there.
Nope. No Johnson & Johnson baby oil for me. I'm good on that, John.
I just don't need them things, so y'all send it to him. But other than that, if you got questions, if you got comments, if you want to chime in, you can hit us up there. You can hit us up on the gram, on the X. We're all over the place. We're active on social media. But other than that, the bottom line to all of this, truth be told, we thank you guys for tuning in to us each and every week ish. When life. But we thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to keep up with this. We're going to keep going on with this. We're going to keep talking about this. But frankly, at the end of the day, if you don't like us, fight us. Till next time, deuces.